Okay, so the spool base of Sonamet was an investment made to support the project of Clove. That was one of many. The idea was to showcase to the industry that we have made a substantial investment on a tool or a facility within our facility that could respond to some of the needs and technical demands and challenges of the industry today. So the idea is to have some continuity with that facility. The facility itself allowed us to train some Angolans in the use of the spool base. We worked in partnership with Subsea 7 in the operation of the spool base. So Clove was successfully delivered with the use of the spool base, this Clove 3 phase. Our involvement is purely on the fabrication and the constructability part of these projects. We are quite a pioneer in Angola in terms of the shallow water projects. We started our activity with the Chevron projects. We grew exponentially, and we did a lot of substantial investments through these shallow water projects on Block 0 and 14. So SLGC was a brand new challenge for us because it encompassed a new part of the project, which was the booster compressor. So we did not only the jacket, the flare, and the deck, but we also did the booster compressor. So it was a new added challenge to us. Again, it played an important role in terms of not only the local content, but also training and development of some internal competencies on that. It was successfully delivered. There were a lot of challenges throughout the execution of the project, but at the end, everyone came out pleased. I mean, it's fully installed and it's working well. Right, so the idea of Sonamet is not to remain within the boundaries of Angola, not only to serve the Angolan market. Sonamet is looking at regional expansion, so we've been responding to bids worldwide, Brazil, Congo, to some extent Nigeria, but the main focus today remains with Namibia, our closest neighbor, and to some extent Mozambique. So in Namibia, we have our eyes on it. We are working with the government at the moment, and we're working with the public institutions to see how can we become competitive through tax breaks and free zones. So there is a huge discussion. There's a detailed discussion on that subject, and if that happens, we are going to be better positioned to serve our neighboring countries. So with the capacity that we hold today, with this size of the yard, the history that we hold, nearly 30 years of experience in the oil and gas, we are more than ready to support our neighboring countries. So with the eyes on the expansion, there are two vectors on that. With the eyes of expansion, we also want to support the local content of the countries that we are going to operate. So the idea, for instance, for Namibia is for us to integrate Namibians to work within our facility on their own projects. So in the past, in the very recent past, we trained 30 welders and pipe fitters from Namibia. So the idea today is to maintain our levels of workforce. Obviously, with the downturn of activity, it's quite difficult, but we never reduce the percentage of our local content. We are always above 70%, so we always range between 70 to 80%. The only problem is that when we have a huge downturn in our activity, it's quite difficult for us to maintain that percentage, but we never go below 70%. So we have a huge retention plan, especially on the know-how and our fabrication engineering capabilities. We have developed a lot of engineers throughout our history. We recruited them straight from university. They're now very senior in our activity and very experienced. So the idea is always at our own cost, despite the low activity, to retain that talent. So the Angolan Oil and Gas Conference, this one is very important to us. So over the last 5 years, we've been quite active here. Over the last years, even we had a more solid presence with an exhibition booth. We see it as key and very important for us to sustain our brand image within the industry. I think this should continue. It showcases the potential of not only us, but all the oil and gas industry in Angola. So for us, this is important, and it's paramount to be part of it for the remaining years. I mean, for the years ahead of us. We not only participate on this one is our prime target, but we also participate on the one in Cape Town and the ones that we find, yeah.